one?
This one that we're doing. All right, and
Right
we're
here?
live. Yep.
What do I do?
I think you'll just be able to go to the page and share it. Maybe to the 31.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
But that's
Not
the one from last. Hey, we're live. Y'all can come on in. We're gonna
come on
we got a
in
little
here.
bit going
How are you
on,
doing? I'm gonna try to get
and drop your name in the comment section if you're gonna hang out with us. We just got a couple of questions for the followers of the Cornell Gaskin Facebook and YouTube pages, so we can see your comments. Once you say something, we'll know that you are here. And we really are live. We got some questions that you got some answers for. All right, we got Albert. Yo, Albert, thanks for coming
What's good,
in.
Albert? Mark Rains, how you doing, my brother?
Mark, you already got some thoughts for us. Ooh, practice tips for speed and accuracy. Like that. So my name is Antoine. This is, of course, Cornell, and we're hanging out. We got some questions for y'all. We are working on some new courses that are going to be releasing pretty soon, but we want to make sure that the content that we're about to be creating and mapping out for you is the best for you. We want to understand your needs, your concerns. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us.
Paul. Yes, bless you, Paul.
So I'll let Q kind of give his thoughts, and we're just going to chat for a minute. But we want to make sure that we can create some content, some free content as well, some student content from our student groups and stuff that will help us grow as a community.
Oh, bless you guys. Thank you so much for joining. And for those who were here, blessings to you as well. So honored to have you a part of the course. I have you part of this great community. I'm seeing so much learning going on. I'm seeing people dig in and just really trying to learn and trying to build. That's what we're here for. This was not an endeavor to make money. This is an endeavor to touch lives and impact people's lives. So, as you already know, challenging, changing, charging one life at a time. And love being my inspiration and love being my motivation for why I do what I do. And I'm so grateful for Antoine and my wonderful team. So I'm here to help you. Really love to come up with some content and get your thoughts about. This is a general audience. Bro, what I'm thinking is the students. Okay.
Now I'm gonna shoot them an email.
Okay. What's
There's
up, Gerald?
Yo, what's good?
So this is the general, bro. My bad.
Yeah, these are just the Facebook people, the YouTube people.
Okay. So everybody. Okay. Well, let me be more general then. But really, really excited about what God is doing in State of Course. It's helping a lot of different people. And if you're not a part, let me go there. If you're not a part, we would love to have you to be a part. It's for everybody. It's for people who can't play. If you never played a day in your life, it's to help you. Gerald said he don't play keys. I know.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn.
We gotta learn. Come on.
You're gonna have to play ox drums and ox keys.
Right. But it's helping intermediate as well as helping advanced. People just trying to get more regimented, formulate and begin to develop a foundation that they probably never got, but as well mentorship, tips, just helping people to learn and being a support. That's one thing I love about the State of Course group. You've got a lot of support there. People who have been there, been learning and growing. They're helping others. So it's a great community that helps. We help one another. So I want to know what instrument do you play? Because it's not just for it can be for drummers, for bass guitar players, for guitar players, for anybody, for vocalists. This could be very, very beneficial to you. And so we want to come up. We have some great ideas already. Which was it? Advanced chords.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to do that. How do you keep your hands loose? Yes, please post your questions. Post the instruments you play, well, maybe what you're looking for, preparing content, and got some great ideas, but want to hear from you, predominantly main keys. Mark Rains.
And then make sure y'all share this, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to be on for about 15 minutes. We may actually answer some questions, but also a part of that we will start preparing content that can touch those things and give examples of what you're doing. So we do have some piano players, we have some percussionists. Do we have any people that actually we will deal with that later? So piano and organ.
Hey,
So
thanks for
actually,
being here, Mark. Thanks for being here, Mark. Appreciate you, man.
let's go back to this. Q, do you have some pointers on this thought?
Practice tips for speed and accuracy. Repetition the right way. Repetition is what gives you it's going to bring an awareness, number one. Repetition, number two, what it's done for me is caused me, it's almost become second nature. But repetition, the second nature that you want to develop, you want to make sure that the repetition you do is the right way. So you've got to have the right fingering. The right fingering is so important with your right and your left hand. Those really helped to ease the tension of your shoulders, ease the tension. It's almost like it definitely gives you, it's a great, like a center to build everything around. So you want to make sure that you're loose, you got the right fingering, and repeat the scales up and down till there's an easy motion that becomes second nature to you. That's what I've done. And it's been tremendous when it comes to the chromatic scale, the major scale, the minor scale, pentatonic, really trying to develop right and left hand. So, Mark, I hope that helps you. And also, knowing the chords, knowing placements, practice makes, what they say, perfect
Practice
practice.
makes perfect.
Perfect practice.
Just
Perfect.
practice.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, that you want to make sure that you know where you're trying to go, and in order to know where you're trying to go, you got to spend time. You got to spend time with the instrument. You have to play. You have to do things. Practice being creative. Practice experimenting with things. So when you come, not just in your practice setting, but when it's live or you're in a setting to where you have to produce, you've sat long enough with it to where you're not afraid to do an arpeggio. You're not afraid to do a scale, a run, or different things. You've gotten adjusted. It's like you built yourself to that place. So that's helped with my accuracy, and it's something that you got to work on. Because I say myself, maybe a couple of years ago, like just because I've been doing it so long, I started seeing myself kind of slack off. My arpeggiations wasn't as clean. And I had to correct that immediately. I said, no way. You will not fall into that. Yes, you're getting older, but it doesn't mean that you have to get sloppier or just feel that people know you, you know you. No, you don't want to get into that. So I got to go back and make sure I'm precise over and over the right way again and again. So I hope that helps, Mark. Yes, and I see that it did. Fellow alien. Bro, he said he want to be a fellow alien. That's hilarious. Yo, I lost you, bro.
I muted my
There we
mic.
go.
I'm up here
Okay,
talking. I
cool.
muted my
Yeah, I
mic.
mean, I'm like, yo, what
Uh,
is he saying? Okay, cool.
but Mark, currently, do you practice with the metronome, and how often per week do you practice? Do you practice with a metronome, and how often do you practice? And then we'll wait for that comment while we post another question.
Uh,
All right, there we go.
how do I get more proficient in every single key? Wonderful. Be, wonderful. Because we're about to deal with that. We have some ideas, and this live that we're doing here is going to help to work on proficiency in every key, helping with transposing, not transposing on the keyboard by pressing the button, but transposing on the keyboard by taking your chords from one key and going to another. and then really helping to come alongside you. There'll be times too where we'll hopefully be able to support you by helping you to understand that this is not a race.
Yeah.
You may feel that you're in a race, but this is not a race. This is for everybody that might be listening. Um, Whatever you want to know, whatever question you're asking or going to ask, whether now or futuristically, you gotta give yourself time. This is not a race. It's really a marathon. It's something that you get better in every day. So be patient. Be patient with your mistakes. Be patient even when your practice session doesn't go the way you want it to go. Patience is so important with yourself, with learning, because especially if you have bad habits or you have things that you thought you knew and you had to relearn it. I remember it took me a whole year when I was 16, 17. I was getting ready to go to college and about to do a audition. I was about to, I picked up this book and found out in this book that every scale that I was doing was with the wrong thing. My God, it took me a couple of months to get it together. I had to learn all my major and minor scales and the chromatic scale with the right fingering, but I had to be patient with myself. And even when I got to school and I did it, I did pretty good. But it took time to the proficiency you hear. I had to be patient with myself. So be patient with yourself. So important, bro. Is your joint muted again? Make sure.
I'm muting because I'm typing and
Yeah.
doing stuff.
Okay. It's all good.
Yeah, but so can you push that out a little bit? Because I think people that may see you may feel like I think we posted something a while back that talked about how you you started kind of late in your thoughts, or you weren't classically trained. That's what that was the thing. It wasn't a classical training. Can you share that journey to going from like playing it the wrong way,
Mhm.
and how playing it the right way kind of change, your playing or affected your playing?
Yeah, I'm not classically trained. My first introduction to to a teacher who actually got into a little bit of that, um, he began to just push me to read. So it wasn't even like for scales or fingering or speed or anything like that. It was to learn how to read music. So he put classical music in front of me because I couldn't read well. I couldn't read at all. So what I had to do is I had to. Um, it just it took time to understand, like, all the stuff I had learned wasn't bad. I think that that's important for you to know. I think sometimes when you're playing, you've been playing a long time, and you think when you someone comes and says, "Well, that's the wrong fingering." You hear things like the wrong fingering or the way you place your hands. No, it's not getting rid of everything that you do. Some of that stuff you could possibly, I kept in my playing, like my chords, my spread, but the scales helped for warming up my fingers. The scales also helped for, like, not just my scales going faster, but my chords going. So being able to go from progression to progression or chord to chord, and those scales definitely help for that. So I did see a difference in just understanding what was possible, because I already had this mindset of, I didn't want to be limited. Even when I was learning in school, I didn't want to be limited. And so I think that still remains the same. So before I went to school, it was one way, and I began to just go through the journey and the process, and it just began to change. The older I got, the more things I got exposed to. And I believe the same thing either is happening for you, it's going to happen for you, or we're going to help you to get, to understand that this is a process. You never stop learning. You never stop. Like it's like you crawl up or come up on something that you didn't know before or you didn't see before, and you add some of those things to what you're doing to make you better. And so I hope that makes sense to you.
All right. And then so we have Gary, any tips on expanding your chords and ear? And if I could share something on that, I think a lot of us sometimes get so accustomed to playing in a favorite key or a key that we like more. Sometimes by playing the same thing in a different key, you expand your chord and you expand your ear. So it's like if you're used to playing in E flat, then you take all those chords and play them in F. And then you start to figure out, well, I can play some of these chords that I played in F in E flat as well. And you start to see these connections that are like, oh, well, I can I can play a lot of different stuff. So the first thing of expanding is not trying to, I don't think necessarily looking for new chords, but using the chords you already know in different ways. And that
Yeah,
I believe helps expand your ear.
yeah. And we got something for you that we're looking to come and hopefully introduce. We will introduce it, and it's going to be tremendous. Mark Rains responded. So I hope that helped, Gary. Um, I do practice with a metronome. However, my regimen needs to dramatically increase. I have some intentionality, set out time for it. Yes, you got to do that. I heard this. It's a life principle, but I believe it goes along with music and its progression and growth as well. The time that you don't make, how I want to say it, uh, you'll never have time. You'll never have time. You got to make time. You got to make time for it. I was talking with somebody, and he said, "Well, my job is." The other night, he was talking. He said, "Man, I want to practice more, but my job is this, and then when I got this, I got this." Well, I told him, I said, "Well, you get what you sow to. What you sow to is what you'll reap from, and so you got to make time for it. If it means getting up earlier, if it means going to bed a little bit later, then so be it. At the time that you would watch TV, maybe take 15 minutes of that time or 20 minutes to sit at the instrument and go for it. So you'll never have time. It'll always be something to do. But if you want to do this, you got to make time for it.
And I know for me, making time can be difficult. And I think it's for all of us, making time can be difficult. But it may be good to, uh, when you do make time, don't expect to get it all in that time. For me, sometimes I may have to just spend 15 minutes just in a certain key and then call it a day and then come back to that key, because sometimes you won't remember what you did before, so you have to record it when you can, or if even possible. But
Always record
making
yourself.
time is is difficult, but it's like, if you want to get better, you have to force yourself to make time, or just get content where you are,
Yeah,
which, yeah, isn't the best way to go. All right,
yeah,
here we go.
yeah. What will be your advice to move from an intermediate to an advanced level of playing chords and improvisation? Feeling stuck in. Okay, yeah. Well, one thing I found is um, you got to get with mentors. You got to find mentors. You got to find people who do what you would like to do. And you also have to find people who can teach, because you got people who play well, but they're not good teachers, effective communicators in helping you. Everybody does not learn the same way. And so, and I make it my business to make sure that I hear the person, hear their thoughts, hear how they think, and I go from there to make sure. And I have a patience, boy. Ooh, to teach, that's really, really, it has to be God, and I thank God for it. So find a mentor, find someone who's doing what you're doing to get you from the intermediate level to that advanced level of playing, and make sure that you're using what you have uh, in different ways, like we were saying before. It's so important. Sometimes you think, well, I don't have nothing. Well, yeah, you do, but maybe you haven't had nobody to point it out to you that, okay, in this key, you have about 15, 20, 30, 40 chords, but in the key of A or in the key of G, you got 6 or 7 chords. Well, why don't you take those keys or those chords that you're doing in one key and now put it in G, put it in the other keys that you're not strong in. And so, tutelage, a tutor, a coach, mentor is going to definitely help. So I hope that makes sense. Thomas Mitchell, Can a person spend too much time worrying about their personal practice and not enough time with person? Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes. The master class that God gave me deals with different things. This is even before I knew my mission statement. My mission statement is challenging, changing, charging one life at a time. Um, but before that, God gave me a master class that I did. My first one was in Brooklyn, and it dealt with spirituality, musicality, and life. So there, when we look at music, there's such a parallel correlation between life and music. So many things. You got one note. Say if you got a C, okay, there's only so much you could do with a C, but when you put a C and an E together, you could do more than you could do with the C. But when you put a C, E, and a G together, wow, then there's some amazing things that you can do when you turn them into inversions. And so I believe that there's so many simple principles in music that can be also go into your life. And I use that to try to encourage people. So you don't want to be so effective or be a great musician, but then have a bad persona, have a bad attitude, or have no character, or have no integrity. You play wonderfully, but you can't be on time. You play wonderfully, but you play from a frustrated place. You play from a mad place. These are things that it if not right away, eventually it'll close doors for you. You'll literally disqualify yourself from greater opportunities to make more finances. So yeah, it's possible to focus so much on playing and trying to get better there that you forget to be a father, learn how to be a dad, or how to be a good husband, or how to be a good boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the case may be, whoever you may be, male or female. So yes, so find balance. I'll be praying for you. Who gave that? Thomas Mitchell. I'll be praying that you find the balance, number one, and hopefully State of Course can help you and follow, the ministry. Always something good that's being said that can hopefully help. Okay, LeBroy Barclay. I hope I'm saying that. Leroy. Teach fingering and hand independence. Okay.
Yeah, and
That's something
that's
about-
actually fingering is something. Oh, actually, this is a question for me. Um, are you talking about fingering for scales for your chords? Is there a particular thing that you're being challenged in, where it's like, okay, I don't know how to play my scales with the right fingers, or I'm not being able to cross my chords over or move my fingers that way? If you can give us a little bit more on that question.
Sure. What advice would you give to a 15-year-old musician who is just a year in? Oh man, if you don't know the Lord, get to know the Lord. Prayer is definitely important. Prayer changed my life. I think that would answer the question. That really changed my life. Learning how to pray and really get connected to the Lord. It really opened me up to a greater me that I didn't hardly know that was there. Practice your scales is important. Um, make sure that you're being consistent in your practice time. Um, make sure that you are careful in who you choose to show you things, what you choose to listen to. Sometimes I think this is something that I don't hear too much. I hear it, but not too much. You got to be careful in the order that you learn. That's why something like State of Course would be awesome for you. Because sometimes you can learn things and aspiring to be that, but you're missing this and missing this. So you want to be careful, Jalen, not to take leaps. You want to take the proper steps because you say, well, if I don't take the leap, I can't get there as fast. No, that not necessarily. If you take the proper steps, literally, with the help of the Lord and with the help of teaching or a mentor, man, those steps can become quicker. Trust me, I've seen how the steps, when I stopped trying to want to leap and started taking steps, dramatically, my music, and not just my music, but my life began to change as well. So I hope that is helpful to you, Jalen, today. And check out State of Course. I promise you, bless your life. www.cornellgaskin.com.
Okay, where are we at? So that was Jalen.
Mhm.
Okay, what do we have here?
Christopher Ward said something. He wants to shout music.
maybe learn, play.
Okay, so we'll look into that and how we can help you with that, Christopher Ward. That's not a, at least I don't think it's hard, but we can find a way to help you to get that. Okay, solo. Cornell, God be praised, sir. How much time per day should I be practicing to get to be an advanced player?
Ooh.
Uh, I think I think we kind of answered it before, and the reason why I say that is I think in becoming advanced, it's not something that you see in a week or see in a month. It's not even something that you see in a year. I believe if you're at intermediate and you're looking to be advanced, it's something that just comes over time. Uh, I think an hour a day, 2 hours a day. I know some people who practice 4 hours a day, every day. And actually, one of my friends, he actually plays for what's this guy? He's a Maxwell. He actually plays for Maxwell. Been with Maxwell for years, and he used to practice 4 to 6 hours a day every day, and he's phenomenal. But where he was around musicians who were phenomenal too. So what he was listening to and digesting on a day to day basis was absolutely amazing. So it's what you hear. Who are you around? What is the caliber of their playing? What is the level of their playing? Like being an advanced player is not just how dope you are. It's knowing what to play and how to play it. Is knowing what genre, what particular engagement, what gig, what service, what to do. Those are important too in becoming advanced. I think people they push out that. Yeah, I'm advanced because I can play fast. I'm advanced because I could do arpeggio. I'm advanced. No, what do you do in the setting when you get there? What do you do in a church service? What do you do at a wedding gig? What do you do when called, to do certain things to where now you have to know what to do. That's a part of being advanced as well. So I hope that helps, Salo. Practice an hour a day, 2 hours a day if you need to, but it has to be every day. So if 2 hours is too much, you can't get to it every day. 30 minutes is all you can get because of your schedule. Then 30 minutes every day, you're going to begin to, after the months go by, the weeks by, you begin to see progress. You begin to see yourself kind of settle into something to become a regimented, to go from intermediate to advanced. So I hope that helps, man. To God be the glory, Mark. To God be the glory, man. That's what we're here for.
Let's see
All right.
what we got. And then cool.
Oh, amen. To God be the glory, man. Well,
Let me-
check him out. Dennis Bet, if he has it, then sit with him and learn, ask questions, and then put it to work. Whatever you get, you put it to work. I would suggest your scales, your fingering, working on your fingering, working on your chords, possibly knowing some basic theory. That's going to help. Learning how to read music is amazing as well. Of course, definitely chord charts is amazing. Learning how to read chord charts is incredible too. Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Let me post this real quick. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. I don't know if we have any more questions, but if you have any more questions, pretty much one of the things that we're doing is we're working on some different content. Quinnell is definitely an amazing musician, minstrel, minister, uh, everything you can think of. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that the content that you need most that you're able to get from Quinnell, from Stay the Course, because there's a lot of content out there that may not be answering your questions the way you want them answered, or may not be effective for where you are in your musical journey. So we want to make sure that we hear from the people that follow, that we hear from the people that are our students, and the list goes on to make sure that you're getting what you need. So if you have any other questions, we're going to be logging off in just a few moments. but wanted to get some of your questions. If you have any more, you can post them. If not, we'll probably be heading out in just a moment. And I'm going to drink some water.
Well, I love you guys. I'm really excited about being here and offering you things that can hopefully assist you as you're trying to develop foundation and go beyond that place that you might be in to where you feel stagnated and you just want more. So this is what we're looking to do, to continue to add more to you so that you can be the best you can be. So really excited about that. Love is my inspiration. Love is my motivation for why I do what I do, and I truly love you, and praying for you and your families that God's will be done in your life.
Sounds good. So we are going to head out. Oh, hold on. What's this? Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're welcome. Amen. Amen. Daquan, you're an awesome musician, man. Be encouraged, my brother, and keep doing what you're doing, man. God bless.
Cool. Peace, y'all.
Oh, Rodney. Rodney.
Oh,
Wait a minute. Whoa,
oh,
we missed
I missed
something.
that. Oh, wait, I missed.
Yeah.
Where all those questions come from? Jeez.
I
All
don't
right.
know.
Oh,
They just came. Okay.
ooh,
Okay. Who are
that's
the top 5 pianists you like to listen to and why?
that's a good
Let me
question.
try to get past this. Number one, I really don't listen to a lot of people at this point for multiple different reasons. Nothing bad at all. I love, I really like listening to Art Tatum for sure. I like Oscar Peterson for sure. I like Errol Gardner, uh, amazing pianist as well. I love, I like listening to Kenny Barron. I check him out every now and then. Uh, Barry Harris, of course, is dope. And I love Derek Jackson. I know I said more than that, but yeah, I love hearing Derek Jackson play. Man,
Oh,
great.
one person that you did miss that I know you like is
Cool.
Eddie Brown.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, I love listening to Eddie. Eddie Michael. Well, like he said 5, so I was trying to keep it. I love checking him out. I love to hear my brother Corey Henry play. He's another amazing player. Um, Rodney East. Got a lot of great musicians out there, and they all bring something different to the table. That's what I love. They all bring a different mindset. Um, I believe we're all shaped. Always remember this: we are all shaped by where we come from. We're all shaped by our life's experiences, and we're going to continue to be shaped by that. So it plays a big part in what we listen to, why we listen to it, why we gravitate to that, all of that. And it shapes the things that we do, how we think, how we feel, the mood we want to be in, the things we aspire to. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Josh, what's a great concept to me being 30? What's a great concept to better my playing? A great concept.
Um, this that's a tough question because it depends on where you are
Mhm.
and what you feel your weaknesses are. So based on what you believe your weaknesses are will determine what you should work on. So if your weakness is uh, ear training, you may practice listening to certain music or listening to yourself play more to be able to grab the concept of pitch of intervals. If you want to improve your chord progressions, you may start to take melodic lines and create chords under that. It just depends on where you are in your plan that will determine what concepts will work best for you. So if you can share maybe a couple of areas where you feel like you want to improve in, we may be able to give an even better answer.
Okay. Yep. No, that was good, bro. That's good. Next question. Please let us know. What was his name? The last person you were just
Last
talking to?
person was Josh.
Yeah, Josh. Yes, please be a little bit more specific so we can maybe be a little bit more specific to helping you if need be. Okay. How did you get started with music? What made you want to pursue it to be a musician that you are today? I got started my church. I was playing drums, and I was determined to be a great drummer. And the musician at my church, he was moving back to California, and there was no organist at the church. He said, "Well, my bishop said you're gonna learn to play because you gonna learn to play." I said, "No, I'm gonna be a professional drummer." Of course, I lost that battle, and that's how I started. And so my organ teacher, Dr. Rennis Graham from California, began to show me, give me a couple lessons, two, three, four lessons, something like that. I would go to him and learn simple stuff in the key of C, and the rest is history from there, man. Played my first service, I think, a couple months before my 13th birthday, and the rest is history, man. With that, what made me want to pursue and be a musician that I am today? Um, Sometimes I think that this is important to hear and to know. Sometimes you don't know the people that are going to literally be um, conduits or channels. They're going to be literal doors. They're going to be like, they're going to open up doors to your purpose in life. I didn't know that God would use my bishop. I was mad at him because I didn't want to play. But he was literally supposed to be, that's the word, catalyst. He was a catalyst. He was my, he introduced me into another part of me that I did not know about. And so you never know who those portals or who that person is going to be that's going to lead you to something else that you came to earth with. There's something else that you carry. So the musician I am today is because the bishop seen something in me. My aunt, she got me to play my mom by telling me they would take my favorite plays, and the rest is history. Sat on that organ, I've been playing ever since. The last part that I want to say to that, the musician that I am today has come because that those portals, those people that the Lord used to introduce me to the next part of me, the greatness in me. Um, it I was able to see people's need for what some things that I did not have, and I wanted to make sure that the lack of mentorship, the lack of leadership, teaching, support, content, being able to have someone to look to, and not just someone, but someone who loves the Lord, which I know and I believe with all my heart is the origin of everything. He's the source of everything. He's the beginner of it. He's the originator of your life, of the reason why you exist today. So I love the Lord because of that. So hope that makes sense. The Lord has done this, and to Him be all the glory all the time. Okay.
All right.
Last question. I've been following lots of great proficient players such as you, Kevin Bond, Aaron Lindsay. Great guys. I have had multiple conversations with Kevin, and I met Aaron. Great, great men of God. I think what I've realized is that you're more attached to the Word as your foundation, that Christ is your foundation. I find myself I find myself hard to play at secular gigs, and some people always see that as a problem. Any advice? Hmm.
Oh, dang.
Well, um, yeah, I've been there before, and I know what you're talking about, playing at secular things. Um, yeah, ugh. I think that you get to a place to where you don't allow the opportunity to take you faster than you need to go, not want to go, but faster than you need to go. So I believe you got to work on yourself and work on your heart and work on your mind. Allow the Lord to work on your emotions to where you are able to, you're mature enough. You have enough of an understanding to not allow the environment to corrupt you or allow the environment to take you to places or to put you in a place where you don't need to be. So it's important to make sure that you're good within yourself. So if you're at places to where there's a lot of cursing and there's a lot of different things that you necessarily don't believe in for you, You know, if that doesn't work for you, different strokes for different folks. Some folks are stronger than others, and they can, you know, like I can go in certain environments, club where weed is being smoked or whatever, and it doesn't mess with my life because I'm there to represent God. But if you're not ready for that, then don't do that. You know what I mean? Prepare yourself. Maybe you might not be called to that. I don't know, but that's between you and the Lord. So,
And,
um,
and
mhm.
there was a quote that I believe it on one of the podcasts where he said, "Don't get into something that." There's a great quote. Don't get into something that you're not prepared to stick in. I forgot the quote. Whatever. It was a great quote, though. So if y'all haven't seen the Behind the Music podcast, check out the Behind the Music podcast with
Oh,
uh, Derek Wright, not Derek Wright, Dwayne
Dwayne.
Wright.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't remember it myself.
It's
It
a
was
great
really,
quote.
really dope. But I hope that helps, Salo. Tap, can you speak on taping, tapping into the presence of God through your playing? Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's something that that's really heavy, man. It's really more than what I can get into in its totality. But what I will say is, the presence of the Lord is everything. I mean, he's like so much so that I will get in His presence, and it'll be less about the music, and it's more about me. And that's a whole other thing. And I've dealt with that on the podcast behind the musical cue. You know, I believe that the Lord wants us to. He wants it to be about more about us physically, the instrument, and giving that to Him than just about our gift and our playing. Because at the end of the day, we are musicians by, how do you want to look at it? We're musicians because this is our choice as far as livelihood. But at the end of the day, where we have not been called, music is not the first thing that God wants. He wants us. He wants us to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy, acceptable unto Him. And with that in mind, that's what affects your playing. It takes you to a whole other place. It's like I was at a service and I was playing, and this particular broadcast, they're very big in like Brazil, South America, all over the world. But they was like, Cornell, you just keep hearing like you got one theme, and then you're gonna go to another motif, and then you're gonna go into another motif. Like, what are you hearing? I keep hearing God. It's like I hear it at this realm, and it always didn't. It wasn't always like that, or when it happened, I couldn't recognize it. But the Lord has really shown me that there is a sound, there is a place to where He desires to feed those who can get to that place by being open to Him, to allow Him to reveal and to show. So it's going to be the next thing that we're going to see. It's the next best thing that I believe God is going to reveal to us so that the world can see, tapping into His presence.
I'm gonna go back to this. Josh, you said chord progressions. I'm dropping the link in for chord progressions. We actually have chord progressions, which is called cues progressions. On the link that I'm dropping in the comments, you can get 50% off of that today. You click that link, and you will be taken to a page where you can get some chord progressions. Uh, is it too late to reset your finger? Oh, uh, this guy is in the same position that you were in.
You
Lord,
sure enough,
no.
I
I'm
sure can answer that.
yeah, you can go on and do
I
that.
sure. It's funny. Before you came, Lord Tunes, where I did answer that question. No, it's never too late to reset your fingering, but it's going to take patience with yourself in resetting it. Patience is the key to adjusting. You can do it. Is it necessary to head to music college? Not if you have. Yes and no. No, no, no. Because I was not necessarily the most proficient going to school with my scales. I was still learning them. Some people I know they don't have fingering; they just got raw talent. They're just amazing, you know, in playing. So no, you should do it though. Learn the right fingering because it's a great thing, especially if you're going to go to music school. It's going to help you with the things they're going to put before you read the music, possibly being able to Bach or classical. where I don't know where you're looking to go to school, but I've heard some different situations from my friends, from my colleagues, of what they went through and the need for proper fingering and stuff like that going to music college. So hope that helps. It's never too late though. You can do it.
Minstrel School of Music. We actually kind of have two parts of that. Cornell does have his regimen, and then we also have just a piano practice regimen. That's a 31-day process that you can repeat in different keys. But there's multiple levels of the regimen, so I'll let Cornell answer about his regimen.
So when I practiced coming up, I always got into this thing after a time because for about 2 years or so, I played in the key of C, and that's the only key I could play in. So there was 11 other keys that was waiting for me to realize that they needed my attention as well. And some of it was fear, some of it was being afraid, some of it, I really didn't, the church that I played for, I got used to them singing and C, so it never forced me. Got to a point to where I started, well, I could recognize that I gotta play, I gotta get better, I have to improve. So my practice regimen went to another place. After like 2 years, came across a young man who's my good friend today. His name is Andre Owens, phenomenal musician. And man, I was like, man, this guy's crazy. His teacher learned from Art Tatum, would study Art Tatum, transcribe everything. So like at 14, 15, this guy was killing. I was like, yo, how do I do that? And so I like it pushed me, and I would ask him questions and like watch him. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get that. Get that. So boom, here come the other keys. Every key, everything I'm doing in C, I'm like, I'm gonna transpose this joker, not the transpose button. I started working it on my keys. So my practice regimen at 14, 15 started to change, 15, 16, to where everything I would play, I would try to play in every single key. And I'm 39 now, and it still remains the same. I found out that it'll take me about 20 to 25 minutes to play one song if I go from C to B, and that's what it is. So sometimes my hour, I try to play an hour a day, will consist of 3 or 4 songs, just depending on the hymn or whatever. And that'll be my hour, 15 minutes that I'm playing one song in every single key. I could be sleepy. I'm talking about sleepy, and I'm in A. I got 2 more keys. I'm not gonna get up until I finish them two more keys. So it's made a major difference in my playing. Okay, bro, do we have anything? Oh, yeah, interesting.
Okay, we do. Let's go here. I gotta go way up, way up, way up. Regimen. We got wow. That's good. I'm an intermediate level player who has played for 15 years, but my fingering accuracy and so the fingering and accuracy timing is woeful. What exercises do you recommend? If do you know how to play all of your major scales with the correct fingering? If you can answer that for us, we can guide you from there. Do you know how to play all of your major scales with the correct fingering? And then we'll come back to your question once we see that answer. All right, here we go.
What are some ways to improve rhythm? Man, uh, definitely being around it, possibly getting some books and practicing rhythm, whether it be triplets, uh, because I play drums. I guess that's where I get my rhythm from. Matter of fact, I'm sure. And I didn't think about it, but I said, wow, there's so many things because piano is also a rhythmic instrument. So when I'm doing singles, single notes, or I'm doing eighth notes, or I'm doing 30-second notes, or whatever it may be, I can literally put it in different forms and mix them up. So if I'm playing certain things, so if I and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, I can mix it up, but you gotta know your eighth notes. You got to know that and be able to play those, and now put them in scale forms, chord forms. Now you're mixing stuff when you play 5/4 or 5/8. Sorry, play 4/4, 6/8, play 7/8. Now all of these different things you begin to mix. And by the time you look at it, boy, one thing that you did and you only had about 10 ways becomes 20 and 30 and 40. And now it's all of these different combinations of them. So that's helped me a lot. So you might have to get a drum book that has various different rhythms and then learn how to correlate them. I got an idea for that too. I've been sitting on it for 2 years. I got an idea for that. I'm gonna be able to help you. We're gonna come up with something for you.
Make sure you write it down so we remember after this conversation.
Yeah. I got something good.
Man, all right. I'm trying to find some of the comments. I lost the one that I saw the response, but okay. So yeah, so the 31-day challenge. The thing about the 31-day challenge is it's designed primarily for people that already at least know their major scales with the proper fingering. If you know that, you can go through a 31-day regimen that helps you build dexterity. So as you're playing, it's forcing you to do some stuff that's really uncomfortable. Some of it may not even be used in your regular playing, but it'll force you to get your hands in different positions, because as you advance as a musician, you got to be able to do your inversions. When you start playing where you're using the melody, you have to move your fingers in a different way and convert or invert certain chords. So the 31-day regimen, for anyone that knows your major scales with the right fingering, but you're feeling like you're getting stuck on scales, stuck on moving throughout the keyboard, that's the regimen for you. And there's a link in the in here somewhere for you. TC, what's good, bro?
Hey, happy birthday. That's the birthday man, right? That's the birthday boy right there.
TC, your birthday?
Yeah.
What's happy birthday, sir? We
Happy
would
birthday again, my bro.
I should have pulled you in on the call so you can talk about.
Sure, no. Yeah, that would been great. Gotta
Wait,
do that. We talked about that anyway.
hey TC, I'm about to inbox you, bro. And I'm about to inbox you. If you can be on video right now. Oh, here we go. There's a question.
How can I improve playing with my left hand while working online with the right? Oh man. Um, everything everything that's fast is done is like mastered slow. You start slow and then you develop speed. You pick it up. So like I would sit and I would try to do something, get my metronome. Metronome is definitely gonna be important. Pull out the metronome and you begin to take it slow. And you work on the left hand till where you got that and begin to cope with the right hand. And if I would messed up on it, I would slow it down more until I can put both of them together. And then I would start picking up speed and picking up the pace, and that would help tremendously. So that's some of the things that I did.
Man, there's some interesting questions. We'll try
Okay.
to do. Man, there was a
I
question
hope that helped,
earlier.
Corey. Mm-hmm.
There was a question earlier, and if we missed your question, feel free to repost it, because I'm trying to keep up with all the questions. There's a comment by Cleo.
Okay, sir, your piano chords are superb and heavenly, sir. I have 20 video series of yours on my phone. Wow. But I'm waiting to get a new piano to continue my rehearsal. Oh man, to God be the glory, Cleo. Praying for you, man. That works out really, really quick, man, and you'll be able to
And Cleo, what
go to
country
the
are
next
you
place.
in?
Yeah, what country are you from, my brother?
And TC, I just sent you that link on Facebook. Somebody says your playing resembles Art Tatum. So I may be incorrect with this, but I think Cornell started playing like Art Tatum before he knew who Art Tatum was. His approach to
Mm-hmm.
playing was that way before he knew that who Art Tatum even was.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So
That's
uh So some of y'all screen names I can't say. So I'm gonna just put your names up. So what jazz concepts would you recommend for me to do for me to focus more on? Uh,
Uh, Jazz concepts. Um, Definitely progressions. Is definitely important. But in order to, if you are, do you already play jazz? If you already play jazz, of course you have the, the 1 6 2 5. Um, Substitutions is always amazing. But in order to do that, you got to know the melody, have the basis for that. I don't know if you read chord progressions already. Reading chord progressions, and then being able to substitute, get different chord changes, play to them, changing up the rhythm or changing up the syncopation of it. That is amazing too. That has helped me. So if it's something in 6/8, can it be done in 4/4? If it's 4/4, can it be done in 3/4? If it's something that could be done in 5, so on and so forth. These are different things that I've tried and I found um, that has helped me tremendously.
all right, and then we're still gonna answer questions. I'm making sure that TC is in. I don't see him, but I I see him, but I don't see him in our stream. I don't know if his reception might have just acted up on him. Uh, there we go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, man. Doing good, man.
So let
Come
me do
on,
a
man.
quick
Bless you.
introduction real quick. So for y'all that don't know, we have a course called Stay the Course where Cornell teaches a lot of amazing stuff. There's some links in the comments for you to get access for that for 50% off today. But TC is one of our students in that, and he's not only a student, but he's really our ambassador, and he keeps, because we're so busy, he literally helps, and he's like low-key working for us for free, just helping
We're
everything.
gonna send him a cash app. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do. This is we didn't even plan this. I don't even know if it's whatever. But man, TC, we're gonna get your cash app, man. We're gonna bless you for your birthday. I'm not saying we can do that for everybody, but he has been. When I say, just as Antoine was saying, he has literally been an ambassador for State of Course. He is amped up to study, to learn. He has questions. It's like everything that he's been learning, he's been helping now, showing other people. It's like his hunger, and I believe he'll express how it has, impacted and changed his life. But I've heard from the first clip I heard him play to listening to him now, he's taken a lot of the things that I believe that he's learned and he's implementing them. So he's growing and maturing, becoming more seasoned, becoming more creative, all of these different things. And I'm super proud of him. I'm super proud of him, man. Super proud of you, man.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll just say one major way that Stay the Course impacted me as a musician is the support. Actually having access to you on a regular basis to ask questions, to pick your brain, and things of that nature. The foundation, of course, I tell everyone that I come in contact to about Stay the Course, about the conquering the foundation. For me, when I first started playing, it was kind of like, you know how you got a puzzle piece and you're sitting there and you might put one corner together, then you got another corner put together, then you got a piece of the middle put together. That's kind of how it was for me. I had a base knowledge, of chords and things of that nature. But then when I got to State of Course and you came with the fingering and then you came with those fundamental exercises, man, people just don't understand. Just doing that 15 to 20 minutes a day, how that will take your playing to the next level. I know when I first started, I didn't do the 31-day challenge, but I think I was too late when I started. But what I did was I just started from step one, and I started with the key of C, and I made sure to get all the fingering for those keys and all the fingering for the black keys. And I just practiced, man. I guess it's a personal thing too. You gotta want it. Like you have to want it. It's also for me, it's good for me because I get to, bless other people. I get to share a little bit with other people of what I learned from State of Course. Not only that, I took the things from State of Course and I also added them to other, people that I've learned from. Like I'm a huge fan of Alan Merville. So, I got his DVD series. And then I took what Q gave me from State of Course and I applied that to that. And then it started building from there. And I took out the Jesus Molina DVDs. So having had those building blocks, it's like now when I listen to this guy, when I hear you play Q or you, Antonio, it's like, oh, I more so understand what I'm listening at.
Wow, man.
And it's funny that you say that because even with everybody that has a course, what ends up happening is
And
if you don't have the foundation first, no matter what course you take,
I don't have to question so much.
Yeah. And we might have lost you a little bit.
But it definitely, like I never really understood the how important the foundation was until I got into the course. Like the proper fingering. Like I believe when I first got like the key of F major real good, and I posted, I said it felt like having a new superpower because things just moved and it flowed so much easier for me, so that course, I tell anybody, I'm in several music groups, and State of Course is one that I list. Alan Merville's course is one that I list as a must-have. I will say, conquering the foundation. Once you do that, everything gets more simpler as you go down the road. It gets a lot simpler. People don't understand when you're doing these scales. I know it seems boring. I know. But me, I got like the Mamba mentality type thing. So I will sit there with a metronome and I will practice one scale for an hour. I'll just keep. But what you're doing is you're learning the placement of the notes. You're learning the scale degrees. And then it gets to where the chord shapes thing is. So I would just tell everybody, stay hungry, stay the course. It does work. It works. Trust me. So, I've been playing for a little bit, like 20 years, but it wasn't up until now, till I took this class and Alan Merville's class, that I really saw a breakthrough. So, I for you and for you, Antonio, for just, doing this because you really didn't have to,
Well, we appreciate you, man, and thank God for you as well. And it's just a beginning, man. You're going to continue to grow and go to the next place. And I hope to continue to be there to render great content, man, and continue to help you, man, support you, mentor you, and really push you, man, to go beyond anything you even imagine for yourself, to go to a greater level. So I'm praying for you and your family, man.
Don't stop those conversations, though, man. Those conversations outside, those are a big part too.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other. So those conversations that are not about, especially us gospel, we need to hear that stuff because we're trying to learn, and we get in certain headspaces that can be negative sometimes, and it can stop growth.
Yeah.
So those conversations give us about ministry, about where we should be mentally, about spending time on our instrument with God and things of that nature. Those help. They help.
Wow.
They help very much so.
Yeah.
Well, more than that. So
we're not gonna stop, bro. we're gonna keep it going, man, and just appreciate you. Don't forget to
Yeah, inbox
text,
me
yeah,
your
your cash app, man. We're gonna bless you for your birthday, man, and just say thank you, man, for just continuing, man, and to be who you are, man, and be an ambassador. And of course, we really appreciate you, bro.
I'm on line with Cornell Gas, and I'm sorry. Hey, give me if I'm figuring out right quick, man. Like, you don't know, bro. Like, man, my first video of you was crazy chords and runs.
Jesus, that's a long time ago.
You know what I'm
That's a long
saying?
time. That's a
Yeah.
long time ago.
Like, that was the first clip I ever saw you, and I was like, yo,
Wow,
ever gonna get there? Because this guy is crazy. And then to
wow,
be on, live with you, things of that nature, man. It's like, wow, this is like a dream come true. It's like,
wow,
having
wow,
those stages down firsthand,
wow, wow, wow. Well, to God be the glory, man. This is
I
what it's all about.
appreciate you guys. I
Man,
love you
appreciate you
guys.
too.
I
Love you
gotta
too,
get,
man.
as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to practice now. So
yeah.
I gotta get out of here, man. I love you guys,
Love you
man.
too, my brother. Much love, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Cool. So we're gonna answer a couple more questions. SETI, if you're still in, I inbox you a link to come on to the call. But if you have a couple more questions, we're gonna stay on probably another 15 minutes and be out of here because we've been at this for like 4 hours and we're hungry.
Yes, yes, Lord. Hey Q, what Courtney Witten. Hey Q, what gives you your inspiration and ideas for some of these arrangements you come up with? For instance, modernizing hymns and traditional gospel and movements. Man, I think that question is so loaded, but if I could just cut straight to the chase, the Lord inspires me. I think I'm sure my hearing is I hear it almost, in heaven. Heaven is eternal, so it's not bound by time. So there is no day and no night in heaven. Heaven is just it just goes on. It's not bound or limited to time. And so I really believe in heaven. It's a party that never stops. So there's music and sounds that never stops that I believe God wants people to tap into, to bring to earth, to encourage, to inspire, to help people, to change people's atmospheres, to bring healing and wholeness and mend and so on and so forth. So I I have practiced God's presence and still am to where it just never stops, man. It's the Lord. It's the Lord. Every arrangement, every composition, the modernizing of hymns and traditions. I said, well, if Oscar Peterson, which I love to see him play live concerts, people like Ahmad Jamal, if Herbie, if these people, George Duke, they can play the secular songs or songs that have been written by people who have great songs. Why can I not be a gospel version or gospel jazz version of doing my own renditions and go into a um, a festival, a jazz festival, and play a hymn, but still relate. Same chords, same thoughts, same approach, but from what God has given me, and still bless people in that way. So the traditional gospel, the movements, I want to be able to make sure that these things don't die out. These songs, you have a lot of young people that don't know hymns. Musicians upcoming, they're not, So I want to keep it alive and let them know that it is interesting to play it the traditional way, and then to add your own flavor to it. So I hope that answers your question.
Cool. So we're about to bring in Sid, who's another student. Looks like we have another of the State of the Course students on. And he said, "Thank you for being here. I have stayed the course, but have not applied it the way I should. I'm pretty good, but I really like to take it to the next level. I'm ready. Hey, you have it in your hands. Push through with that, and hey, make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Yo,
Say,
let's make sure we got your sound
so
good
you're gonna make sure we got your audio.
and your interwebs are working. So I don't have your audio yet. We can't hear you yet. And while we wait for him to get the audio together, I think this question was posed twice. How do you deal with social media? Sometimes great players can destroy your confidence and creativity. How can you bounce back? How can I brand myself? Ooh, that's a loaded question.
Okay.
Did you guys
Okay.
know?
Okay, so I'll go ahead and answer this real quick while Seti's
Yeah.
getting it together. How do I deal with social media? Great player. Okay, yeah. It is. I think your social media is vast. It's so vast, and there's a lot there. There's a lot of things going on, and sometimes when you are scrolling in different things, if you don't, it's almost like you got to put a cap on all the things you're willing to take in, because sometimes there are you could just be taking in so much, and you find yourself, it's almost like, and I don't think it's the person that you're hearing that might be discouraging or whatever. I don't think it's their intent to hurt you or to come at you, but you got to be careful of how much you take in. You got to stay with people who are going to encourage you. Know the people, because you're young, Lord Tunes. I think you're 15 or something. You're young, period. You got to have the right people that you are your go-tos on social media. You got to know where to fill up on. I don't know if you're a believer in God and Christ, but you got to have that prayer time, and then you got to know those people to fill yourself up with that encouragement that you need to encourage your spirit, to keep you lifted. And then, with those teachings, continue to grow so that you settled within yourself that there is nobody like you in the whole wide world. So you hear other people that's great or dope or advanced, but it shouldn't take away from you, because at the end of the day, you're developing and you are great. Greatness in the making. That's going to take time. Give it its time. Stay encouraged. Don't get into the feeling inferior. I lived in depression for over 20 years, so I know what I'm talking about. So I know not just social media, but going into churches and going into environments to where I felt small. The person didn't necessarily mean to do that to me or whatever, but I felt that way, and I beat myself up about my gift and my talent. So I'm telling you, I'm here for you. Antoine is here for you. There's others out there who mean you well, who want to see you be the best that you can be. You are unique. You are different for a reason, and you have something, and you're being refined and being molded. Continue to let that process go forth for you. Did he say something else? Uh, yeah, you can bounce back. Get with the right people. That's going to help you. How can you brand yourself? You got to find someone great like Antoine who can help you, because I didn't do it. I didn't know anything about that. As a matter of fact, I didn't care about that. I love to play. Anybody call me to play, I was going to play. Anybody who needed my help, I was going to help you. If you need to pray, I was going to pray for you. But now I'm finding out that this is definitely important for the other side of things, but not losing my spirituality, not losing my relationship with the Lord, and not compromising the God that I serve. And so that's it. Those are some things that's important. So I hope
And
that
then
makes sense.
we're going to introduce it, but this is also the thing when it comes to the courses that we put out and that we're putting out. First of all, for Cornell, it has never been about the money. The money is just the icing on the cake of blessing people. So it's like, hey, how can I give as much as I can? Because honestly, we sell all of our courses entirely too low. But we do it because we have too many people that need help and can't get help. Like, you got $99 course here that's an hour course, and you only get this little bit out of it, versus something that you can go back to and really dive into. And then, like said, who's a state of the course student, this dude, like, if you are part of the state of the course student group, on Facebook, just go check out some of his videos. Like, this dude has been putting the work in. So
Amazing.
he made he made TC get back on because TC has been with us for a minute. But as soon as Sid came in, Sid gave the group back some more life because not everybody gets a chance to post their videos. But he came in, he's like, "Yo, I'm coming for heads, throats, faces, and I'm gonna be better." So go and introduce yourself and welcome. Oh, we still ain't got your sound. We still ain't got your sound.
Oh, I still can't hear him. There you go. You there? No, we can't hear you. And he unmuted and muted it again too.
You on yourself? You're on the. Are you on the phone? Let's see. All right. Are you on the laptop? Oh, let's see. All right, so Sid, on your computer, there may be a cam mic option to where you can go in and see what's going on because we're not hearing you. So we'll keep pushing through that. But we're gonna hear him talk. He ain't leaving without talking, or if he got to leave, he coming back on here. Daryl says, when is more material coming? One of the reasons we're on here is because we have material that we haven't released and put through our full production yet, because we don't want to just create content that doesn't create impact. So it's one thing to create content for the sake of content, but we don't want to create content just for the sake of another dollar. Because if we just keep creating content just for money, we don't make that impact. So there's content coming, but what we need to know is what people really need, what they're thirsty for, what they're hungry for, so that we can make sure that that's the material that comes out. Because Cornell has loads of content, but we've been battling to figure out what comes next because there's so much content. We literally have 4 or 5 courses worth of content that we could drop, but it's like, is this what the people need? Is this what's going to bless people and help them get to where they need to be? So if we're not creating content that helps you grow, it's no point of us just putting out the content. But there is more coming, and we need your feedback. I think Daryl is a student too, so that's where we're at. All right, here's a question.
Okay, so what are y'all favorite go-to board? I love to feel a motif ES. Oh, montage has caught my eye recently. Twan, what's your favorite board there, brother?
I've been a motif guy for a long time. I honestly like a lot of the sounds on some of the Chord stuff. I just don't like the load times. Like the Chord stuff, like for the EPs and some of the synths is really great. What I don't like about some of the motifs is the sustain. Like if you're playing something and you need to go from one sound to another, it cuts off. So it's like, okay, I'm playing these chords and I need to change sounds in the middle of a service, but now when I change sounds, it's like this awkward silence while I switch sounds. But the motif is great. The ES is really good. And I'm a Chord fan for a lot of stuff. Like over here, I'm at the house, I'm using just for production sake a not an RD, a Juno GS, Juno DS, and it has some good synth stuff. So it really depends on what sound you need, and if you need to use like VSTs for like other stuff, do the break-in sound when switching kills me too. It's the worst. It's like just fix the board to where we can go from one sound to another sound without having these issues. And if I missed your question, I know there's people that there was just a lot of questions, so we might have missed some. So if you had a question that didn't get a response, yeah. So this question, what do you guys think about Studio One and Machine MK3 and software? I haven't used the machine in quite a while. When it came out, it was really great. They made some great improvements to it. Studio One, I use Studio One, but I recently switched back to Logic because of me needing to send files back or sessions back and forth with my team. So because they had Logic, I went with Logic as well, so I could switch. But Studio One is really great. They're improving a lot of the functionality, so it's great. Machine has really dope sound. So even if you don't, of course, you need the machine itself, but the sounds and the processing and the being able to change the quantize percentage and all of that type of stuff is really great. Is really great. And
Yeah, I'm not really I wasn't. Let me say that I wasn't really a beyond Logic. Matter of fact, there's this record that I did a couple years ago. My record is called Cut a Rug. I did that whole Cut a Rug record as far as like getting into before I went into the studio and actually played real piano. I did that in a Triton. Yes, I was a Triton dude. So much so they wanted me to burn the Triton. They said, "Q, if you don't burn that Triton," Logic was out, a lot of different things. So I got into I like Reasons. I learned Reasons. Then I learned another program called Nuendo, which was a dope program, and that's why I did my vocals on. Started learning my vocal stuff, and then Logic. Logic is my best. That's my thing. Logic is great. Machine is really dope for beats. Really like that. I'm learning Ableton now, getting into that. But to be honest, I'm really a piano person. I'm a real piano. I'm really not a keyboard person. If you look at the keyboard that I got right now, I have a Casio. I've had a Casio for a long time. And so sometimes people say, well, man, it just depends. Man, you gotta have the right keyboard with the right sounds. You know, I'm from New York. That's a yo, dude, yo, son, you gotta have. I be trying to tell them. I said, listen, when you could play anything. I played keyboards, I played pianos with broken keys, organs with broken keys, and man, when you can play, you can make anything sound good. Now, do I recommend you play on broken stuff? No, I don't. But when you can play and you really understand, you can make it work. You know, and piano strengthens your fingers more than even weighted keys. If you don't have weighted keys, that's definitely the way to go to get weighted keys to make sure that you're building it helps with your dexterity stuff. So it's a real good thing. So
yeah, so we are again working on a lot of different stuff. We have content ideas, content in the works that again we just want to make sure that we shoot out the right content for the right people because everybody on this live is at a different level in their playing. And what we want to be careful of is catering so much to one side of the people that the other people can't get what they need. So we want to make sure that we have some advanced stuff, we have some intermediate stuff, but we also want to make sure that the content that the beginning content or the foundational content that you need to really grow is available. Because if it's not available, then you're just out of there. All right, Sid, do we got sound for you now?
I think it works now.
Hey,
Okay, finally, man. How you doing, man?
man, I'm great.
bless it, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Q, I'm so blessed by whatever you're showing us, man. It's crazy. You don't know. You have no idea, man.
Wow,
Um,
God be the glory, man. All the
yeah,
time.
man. I'm telling you right now, I'm starting the minor skills one,
Come
and
on,
this is the
yeah.
one I need the most, right?
Wow,
Because I'm
wow.
really into hip hop, so I do a lot of like skills going back and forth. So it's cool. It's really
Whoa.
cool. And I want to say, just like I remember, I was trying to learn this song, and I didn't know why it wasn't working. Then ever since I've been doing that program that you're showing, the 31-day challenge, and practicing scales, 2 octaves and everything, that's what made me work. Like, and then I was able to pick up and realizing how fast it was going back and forth. That's how it worked for me. So just putting
Wow.
that work every day. But
Wow.
And
I
and
had
what
a
Sid, what pushed you to what's pushing your drive to work as hard as you're doing?
Man, I love music and I love God too. I love music so much, and like I
Amen.
wanted to realize, how do you play like Oscar Peterson? How do you play like Art Tatum? And then I saw this commercial from Q doing all those skills going back and forth. I was like, what? And then he's like teaching. He's like, yo, I could show you how to do that. It drove me so much. I was going for that. I'm like,
Wow.
that's the perfect one, man. I need the basics. And I remember when I was a youngin, the guy at church was telling me, yo, you gotta learn skills to play like that. But I never, like, I knew my skills, but not the proper fingering.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was a perfect opportunity for me. So I saw that. This is exactly what I needed. I'm telling you. When I'm telling you that, yo, Q is not paying me for this. This the best course I've ever had, and it's so cheap, man. Like I didn't understand it, man. Real
And
talk.
you're in Ontario?
Yeah, I live in Ontario, Canada.
Okay. And it's crazy because we when you see that video of Q, we're not even trying to get people to play like him in that sense, but we know if you see these fast notes, it's going to catch your attention and you'll be like, wait,
Yeah,
what happened? And then the reason we're offering that foundation is because it's like, once you understand the foundation, once we start teaching some crazy stuff, you're like, okay, I'm with you.
yeah,
With
man.
the teach advanced stuff, it's like trying to teach a baby to walk that hasn't even rolled over.
Yes, sir. I agree. And on top of that, like I was doing the 31-day challenge. I was not used to the sevens and all that. Doing that, putting that work in, doing the chromatic skills, all those stuff. I was not used to it, man. That that course blessed me so much. You have no idea. I don't know how much I can say about it, man. Like if you don't have that course,
So, do you have
Super proud, man.
because
Wow.
the foundation is the most important key that you need to like keep going forward. And if you don't have that course, like I feel like you're missing parts, you know. And that foundation, man, I'm telling you, I can't tell you like how much blessed I am with this.
Man, we're blessed to have you in the group, man. Blessed to know that you're part of what we're doing, man, and you're part of this community, part of this family, bro. Because that's what it is. It's family.
I know.
I say it all the time: no shots, no shade, no condemnation, no judgment. Everybody is somebody.
Yeah,
Everybody is working, and we help one another to build one another and see people be the best that they can be, man.
yeah,
That's what it's all about. And so, man, to have you a part, man, to see what you do, and then see your need. You know, you like, man, I need this. That's what we want globally for anybody. It doesn't matter what particular genre. It doesn't matter where you're at, what stage. If we want this to be something that you can add to your library to help you to continue to grow, to broaden your horizons. You know what I'm saying? That we go beyond. Well, I could just do this. No, with State of Course, this is going to help you to do more than you thought that you can ever do. That's
yeah,
the hope, and you're definitely, I believe, it's almost like you are like a result. What we set out to do. We're gonna see if this works, and it's like, oh well, look at my bro. It's like I don't have enough oxygen going to my head. That's uh, my man. We just talked to him,
TC?
man.
yeah,
TC, and now y'all are the results of. Listen, this is what can happen when you put in the work. This is what
and I
can
appreciate
happen
you, man.
when you. Oh man, I appreciate you, man, and I'm looking and excited about those who will see this and be inspired by what you have said. You know,
Yeah,
be inspired by you, you know, because eventually what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to open up opportunities, man, so that people can, hey, go support this guy and his music. Go support this sister, you know, this lady and her stuff, and give opportunities. Is to build this great thing to where everybody offers something and could be tremendously blessed, man. And so we appreciate you, man. Continue
yeah.
doing what you're doing.
I
We
want to
got
say
so much. Oh, great. Mhm.
I want to say just two things. First
Yeah,
off,
yeah, go ahead.
like TC was saying, man, that support is everything. I'm telling you, because
Wow.
like he was saying, it's like a puzzle that you're
Yeah.
like, where am I going? And then people can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like,
Yeah.
where am I going with this? And then whenever you're
Yeah.
doing the work and putting that camera, and then people are like, whoa, okay, that's how you do it. That's how
Yeah.
you're supposed to do it. I'm sure it
Yeah.
helps a lot. And my other question for you,
That's what's
Q,
up, man.
was how much hours do you practice per day? I probably missed it if you answered it, but
An
that's
hour a day. I try to do an hour.
1
I
hour
try to do an
per
hour. Yeah, I try to do an hour, and my practice is unusual. It's really what I try to do is as I'm learning new things, I try to maintain also what I have, just the clarity,
day.
accuracy. You got to maintain. I got to work on that. Being clear, being accurate, being precise. You know that precision. All of
Yeah,
those things are so important. So that's what I work on an hour a day. So I play hymns, man, and praise and worship songs for
yeah,
an hour in every key, though. That's
yeah,
what keeps me.
okay, okay, okay.
Somehow I can't explain it. I'm not against the other things that people do, but that and I work. Sometimes I do the scales and I do my little hand and exercises. I try to do them in every key now. That
Mhm.
kind of stuff, keep my fingers sharp and stuff like that. So that's and I got something. Me and Antoine already talked about it. I'm gonna show people how. That's good, Twan. Yes, today you matter. Everybody that's listening, everybody who ever listens said it, you know this. I always say that your greatness in the making. Greatness in the making. I try to make sure that I I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna play in every single key. I'm gonna play one song to show people my practice. I'm gonna let people into my private space. I don't show people this, but I'm
Mhm.
gonna bring people into my worship time and my practice so they'll see. I'm gonna do a whole video on it of
Yeah,
what I do when nobody else is watching,
sounds
and
good.
I pray that it inspire and you know just lift people and it's like, man, I want to do that or I want to be better in what I do. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Sounds
Yeah.
good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm truly blessed by y'all, man. I'm telling
Amen, bro. We're blessed by seeing the results, man.
you.
Seeing your proof, man, that it works.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Love you, my bro.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
love you too.
God bless, man.
God bless.
Oh, man. Yeah, bro.
So I think we're done. There might have been some questions that we didn't answer. Part of us growing this community in this season, we will do our best to be more accessible to do live stuff and really push to be available for our student group as well as for the people that follow the page because we want to grow. We want to make sure that we are an asset to those people who are around because we can't grow a great community without people. So we appreciate you being around, and we're probably about to head out. And thank you for joining us. I don't know if Q has some last words.
Just know that I love you guys. I'm praying for you. My heart's desire is to see you be the best that you can be all that God wants you to be. God has a plan for your life today. Today you matter, no matter what you've been through, no matter where you've been, no matter what you're experiencing. I'm praying for you. We're praying for you. I mean, literally, for real. I'm praying for all my students. I'm praying for all of those even that I don't know. And I'm just praying that you would find the peace that you need. You find it in the Lord. You find the joy that you need. You find the healing that you need. Challenging, changing, charging one life at a time. Just honored to be able to do it. Love being our inspiration, our motivation. Please check out Stay the Course once again. I think it's there. There is a 50% off Conquering the Foundation. Get that. Q's Legacy. Check that out. Uh, Begin to invite me to other spaces, your cars, other places. I have music that's out there that will be a tremendous blessing to you and people that you know. I'm here to just be a blessing. We are blessed to be a blessing. I love y'all.
Bless you as
Thank you,
well.
Antoine. I love you, bro. You already know.
Oh, most def. Thank you. And we'll see y'all next time.
Absolutely. Peace and blessings. Hey, y'all can have a blessed day, you guys. Night, wherever you may be in the world. Glory.